So hey guys, welcome to another movie review. Today I'm talking about the third directorial film from Jordan Peele, who's known for his Key and Peele skits. He also directed the films Get Out and Us from a couple years back. So this is his third film as a director and as a writer, even though I'm sure he's written several of his Key and Peele skits from back when he worked on those. But in this film, you guys, it's an original story from Jordan Peele, and it focuses on a brother and sister who run this horse ranch in California. They prep horses for. Here, I got a little pop up window here. Let me get rid of that. Trying to film a video. There we go. And so they run this horse ranch in California, their brother and sister, and they train horses for Hollywood productions. So basically, if your film or your TV show needs horses and they need to be trained for actors and actresses to ride on them, or for at least crew members to ride on them, and they could just use a back shot of the actor, the fictional one anyway. Um, they basically train those horses to do those things. And so over the course of this film, there is this UFO saucer that seems to be kind of haunting the area that they live in. And so what they do is they actually kind of try to take advantage of the fact that that's happening in their area. So basically, they get a hold of a documentary filmmaker who was a part of this commercial that they did to kind of advertise their horse ranch business, see if he's willing to record some of this saucer stuff, get it out in the world, prove that aliens do exist, and hopefully the aliens will come down from the saucer and all that good stuff, so they could really start to get famous. And over the course of this film as well, we also learn about a Asian child actor who is a full-grown adult now, but he had a really traumatizing experience as a boy where he was a part of a sitcom show that was staged for a live audience, and they had a trained chimpanzee that was supposed to be kind of the comedic pet of the show, kind of like the show Alf. For those who remember the show Alf, it's kind of the chimpanzee was supposed to be Alf, and all the characters are supposed to be human characters. And basically, this bad incident happened that made him kind of traumatized for a long time, and obviously this show had to shut down. They weren't able to complete the whatever season they were on because of this incident. And so now he's trying to move forward with his life as an adult and to basically bank off of the saucer himself at this carnival. And he gets his kids to dress up as aliens, and he does this whole little show for public audiences and things like that. And so basically, there he's trying to bank off of the saucer even more so than this brother and sister are on the ranch. And so over the course of this film, there's things about the saucer that the brother and sister learn, as well as this filmmaker that they hire to film it. Things don't seem the way they are. There's things about the saucer that are kind of unusual that people don't associate with UFOs. And so over the course of this film, they have to figure out, how can we take out this UFO? How can we be safe going outside again? Because the second we step outside of our house, the saucer can do terrible things to us. It can suck things into it. So over the course of this film, they have to figure out how to get rid of the saucer once and for all. But overall, guys, I thought Nope was okay. I will admit right off the bat, I'm not the biggest Jordan Peele fan. I do like that he is trying to push for original content. But unfortunately, I am one of those few rare people that really did not like the film Get Out. I thought Us was good, but it kind of fell flat by the third act. Like, once you know kind of what's going on in that movie and what the doppelgangers were doing and stuff and why they exist, I thought that aspect of the film was very weak. So I went into Nope kind of being like, okay, hopefully it's more so like Us than Get Out. Hopefully I'll enjoy it a little bit more. And I know Us is kind of considered one of his weaker films, so I am kind of in the minority, I understand, for what I rank for Jordan Peele's films. So I went into it kind of like, okay, it could be anything. It could kind of be like Us, hopefully, and hopefully he kind of learned from his mistakes, and hopefully it won't make the same mistakes that Get Out did. So I went into this film kind of pleasantly okay with it. I thought it was pleasantly okay. Not a film I don't think I could rewatch again, to be honest, but there's things about it that I enjoyed and things that I think he could have done better with. And when he directs a fourth film, I hope he learns on his mistakes. But let's talk about some of those positives and negatives. So for my positives of this movie, I think, and I 3 films in, I think I can officially clarify this. I think Jordan Peele is good about building suspense. He is good about setting the stage. He is good about building you up for either a scary moment or a very tense moment. There's a lot of that in Nope as well. So I think that definitely solidifies that that's definitely one of his strengths, is he does know how to build suspense. He does know how to build you up for a really big situation in the story. I think he's very good at that, and I think that's definitely one of his strengths. So hopefully moving forward with a fourth film or a fifth film, he uses that strength to his advantage some more. Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer, who are the main characters of the film and are the brother and sister of the film, I think they have good chemistry. They definitely play off of each other very well. Some of the more comedic moments work well because of their chemistry working out so well. So I like the two of them working together. You do buy into the fact that they are brother and sister, or at least they sell it that way. And every time they're on screen together, I think they do have good screen presence, and they work well on screen together too. And once again, I do want to emphasize this again. I am happy that we have another director out there that does believe in original stories. Every film you make does not have to be an adaptation. It does not have to be the next big comic book movie. It doesn't have to be the next big book adaptation that creates a series of films. I do like that we are making original stories still of people being like, sitting down, what's original, what's something I can do on my own, what's something that isn't based off of a novel or a previous film of any kind or anything. I do like that we have directors still that are making original content, putting it out there, and getting a lot of money for it in order to make a feature-length film like this. And I do like the Gordy the Chimp scenes. Like I said, it's definitely a subplot. But when it happens, and when we're kind of learning more about it and learning about this, Asian man that's trying to move forward with his life from this event, I really kind of like it. I almost kind of wish this was the main focus of the film instead of the saucer stuff, to be honest with you. I thought the Gordy the Chimp stuff was really quite good. I thought it was intense. There was parts of it that were intended to be scary. Whether it was a CGI chimp or a real one, they did a good job with that. So all the Gordy the Chimp stuff I thought was well done. There's not a ton of it, unfortunately. But I feel like when it happens and when the suspense is building and they're trying to make it scary, I thought all that stuff worked out really well. So I enjoyed those scenes. I thought those scenes and that subplot of this film worked out pretty good, to be honest. And I also overall think this is kind of a love letter to crew members on film productions, because there is a lot of scenes where Daniel Kaluuya and Keke Palmer have to get horses away or ride horses really quickly through a tough situation with the saucer. There is a lot of moments where it just feels like a love letter to crew members, because they do show it really is kind of the crew members and the people who have to train those horses to make those scenes possible in film. And it's definitely kind of a love letter to those people who work on those kind of things. So I thought that aspect of the film is very loving and caring, and kind of a nice little touch that Jordan Peele added to the movie. For my negatives of this film, though, unfortunately, some of the subplots of this film do not add up at all. Like I said, even though I like the Gordy the Chimp stuff, it doesn't really add anything to this movie other than the fact that this man got involved with the saucer at some point. Some of these subplots really don't add up. I really think they either could have been trimmed out, taken out completely, or could have been incorporated into the story better to make it feel like it belongs to this film some more. So some of the subplots of this film, unfortunately, don't add up the way that they should. And I also thought the third act, once again, kind of like Us, was just really deflating. Once you kind of know what this saucer is and what it can do, and what the real, quote unquote alien looks like, I guess, it really is just kind of deflating. It's just kind of a third act that is just like, okay, now that I know that that's what you're going for, it's just like, I don't know. So I guess whatever reveal or twist you want to call it, whatever that's considered in this movie, I thought was a little disappointing. So like I said, he's great at building suspense. He's great at getting you into the story. But man, just like Us, when you get to that third act and you get all the reveals of what's happening, it's just like, ugh, that's kind of deflating and kind of defeats the excitement that I once had earlier on in the movie. I thought some of the pacing of this film was a little sluggish too. There's just a lot of scenes where Keke Palmer and Daniel Kaluuya are planning and planning and planning, or they're, getting adjusted to these cameras they have on their house for the saucer, and some of the pacing to me was just really sluggish. I thought some of it either could have been more meaningful to the story, could have been told quicker, could have been tightened in the editing room or something, because some of the pacing of this film is a little sluggish, unfortunately. I also thought some of the creature design was a little not so great. There is a suggestion of aliens in like one scene of the film, and I really like that design. Some of the stuff they do with the saucer, though, and it's, I don't know, a little not so great to me. I thought some of the CGI possibly could have been better. So I thought some of the creature design just overall could have been improved for this movie. I also think it's always kind of weird, and I think Nope unfortunately falls in this category, when you really like a take of a scene in a movie that's in a trailer, and the way it's presented in the trailer is better than how they use it in the film. Like, for example, there's a scene where Keke Palmer is talking about her great great grandfather and how he was involved with this really early film clip that was released to the public of a black man riding a horse. I love the take she did in the Nope trailer. They unfortunately don't use that take for that scene in the movie. They use a completely different take, and it just feels kind of like she's reading off of a note card, really. So whatever energy or passion she brought to that take for the trailer, I kind of wish they kept that version. I also thought Daniel Kaluuya's performance for that clip was better in the trailer as well. So why they decided to go with a different take for that scene when clearly everybody liked that take from the trailer, I don't know why they did that, but for me personally, I thought that take from the trailer was better. And unfortunately, there's other scenes in this film where just like, okay, well, the part where he's talking about bad miracles, that felt better in the trailer too. Um, so it's just kind of weird to me. And Nope's not the only film that does this. There's a couple of other films that do it too. But it is just kind of weird to me where a scene works out so well in a trailer and you don't use that take for that scene when the finalized movie comes out. So that's just kind of a weird thing to me. And overall, I think as far as Jordan Peele's 3 films that he's made so far goes as a director, I think I like Us the best out of the 3. I thought Us, even though the third act was a little disappointing, I thought the stuff leading up to the third act was really well done, and the whole doppelganger thing I thought worked out the best. I also thought Lupita Nyong'o was very good. She kind of has to do 2 dual roles in it, both of a good person and this really bad doppelganger. So I thought that was kind of his best work as far as what he brings to as a director goes, as far as what he's trying to do as a director as well. But overall, I'm going to give Nope a 7.5 out of 10. I think there's good things about it. I think he's, once again, Jordan Peele's great about building suspense. The Gordy the Chimp stuff I thought was very interesting. It is an original story, which I can't say about a lot of films in today's world. But man, there's just a lot of stuff about this film that does kind of wear down the experience a little bit that I think could have made this film a little bit better. So 7.5 out of 10 for me. I think it's an okay film. I think I could recommend renting it or streaming it if for those who really want to see it still. I don't know if I could send you out to a theater to see this one, but it's not a film you necessarily have to ignore. But I would say renting it or streaming it down the road is probably the best way to see it. So Nope, I'm going to give it a 7.5 out of 10. It's an okay film.